The pace of the game tonight was dictated by the pace of the two pitchers, both of whom like to work fast. Also the fact that neither generally gives up very many bases on balls, and the hitters seem to go up there tonight with the idea in mind, don't take pitches because they're going to be strikes and we're going to be behind in the count before very long. And as it worked out, we had a lot of activity, a lot of action, well-hit balls, hit solidly in the first couple of innings, some excellent plays, and one of them was made right at the outset in the first inning of the game after Willie Harris had doubled, only the second batter against Mark Redmond. Two men were out, and Carlos Lee gave it a good shot. Swinging a drive to center. Kotze going back with his back to the infield. He's still going. He looks up. He reaches, and he makes a marvelous catch. A great play by Kotze to dead center field, just about 2 strides from bumping up against the padding, reaching all the way up and over his shoulder to pull it down and keep the White Sox off the board in the first inning. Fine play by Kotze, and the fans show their appreciation. And in the second inning, second baseman Mark McLemore made a leaping catch of a line drive by Aaron Rowan and threw to first base, thus doubling off a runner. And when the A's came to bat in the bottom half of the second inning, Jermaine Dye, trying to bounce back from a rough road trip in which he was only 3 for 22, drilled a solid single to left center field. But with 2 out, he was still at first base. And then Bobby Kelty dumped a single down the left field line to put runners at first and second, setting up Bobby Crosby. The A's would get a run, but they also make a base-running mistake. Loaiza looking in. 2 runners on here. There's no score yet. Bottom of the second. He has a 2-2 with Crosby with 2 out. And here it is. Swing and a base hit to right field. Down the line and around third. Guy will come to the plate to score. Racing over to third. Safe there. And at second, Crosby safe. Now they have Kelty caught rounding third. And on a run back, Olivo tags him out. Trying to run him back to third base. Crosby going to second, drew the throw, and Kelty rounded third too far. A double, a run batted in, and the final out made in the rundown after 2, 1-0 A's. And Eric Chavez made a nice catch on a line drive opposite field by Willie Harris to end the third inning with a runner at second base. So good glove work all around in the early part of the ball game here tonight. In the A's half of the third against Loaiza, who, by the way, had won each of his last 4 starts against the Athletics over a 2-year period, Melhuse doubled to left center field, and that was his first of 2 doubles tonight. On a fielder's choice, Kotze grounded to the second baseman on the right side, but an alert to Uribe fired to third and got the sliding Melhuse out at third base. So there was just a runner at first in this situation. However, McLemore singled to right field, sending Kotze over to third and giving Eric Chavez a shot at trying to get a run home.
Loaiza checking with Olivo. He's have good speed in the bases. And now the delivery is swung on and ripped to right field. Rowan going back. Rowan at the track. He has room at the wall and makes the catch. Tagging from third, Kotze scores. Going back to first is McLemore. It's a sac fly for Chavez, and the A's take a 2-0 lead. Chavez almost got it.
And Redmond continued to keep the White Sox at bay until the bottom half, or the top half of the fourth inning. He got Frank Thomas and Carlos Lee, 2 very powerful hitters who both have hitting streaks going at this stage of things. And he faced Paul Konerko, but this time Konerko got the better of him.
2-0 A's. 2 out, 2 balls and 1 strike to Paul Konerko on the way. Ripped to left. Kelty going back. He's at the track. He's looking up, and it's gone. And a line smash to left field by Paul Konerko, and the White Sox are on the board. A's 2, Chicago 1.
Like many of the Sox, he's on a hitting tear. He came in having hit 400 in his previous 14 ball games. The A's got nothing else on the board against Loaiza until the top half of the 6th inning when the White Sox were threatening. With 2 out, suddenly Redmond, for the only time in the night, gave up a base on balls, went to Frank Thomas, and Frank Thomas came in with an 11-game hitting streak of his own. And then it was Carlos Lee. Lee extended his hitting streak to 18 consecutive games with a single to right field, runners at first and second, and Konerko once again at the plate in a situation where he could do serious damage. Redmond got another baseball, now a 3-2, and you've got Thomas at second and Lee at first with 2 out, and they'll be away with a pitch. Redmond's pitch count up to 95 right now. And the A's bullpen beginning to go into action. Now the 3-2. He struck him out in a changeup that dipped out of his zone. Third strikeout for Redmond tonight. Stalls 2 runners. Keeps the A's in front after 5.5. It's 2-1. And in the bottom of the inning, Loaiza gave up his first and only walk of the night. It came to Chavez with 1 out in front of Jermaine Dye, who then already with 2 base hits for the evening worked the count in his favor. Here comes the 3-1. Busted. Way back. High, deep. Moonshot. Left field bleachers. Far back in the seats. And Jermaine Dye kicks the A's lead up from 2-1 to 4-1. Dye hits his 10th of the year to get him 31 runs batted in. And did he get all of that one? And little did we know, the A's would not get another base hit until Kelty won the game with his home run in the bottom of the 12th. Through the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th inning, they had only 2 base runners, 1 on a walk, and 1 hit batsman. Meantime, in the 8th inning, Chad Bradford was on the mound. Chad had come in to pitch a shutout 7th inning, and he struck out Uribe at the top of the order to start the 8th. But a 4-pitch walk went to Willie Harris, and that brought up the big hurt. And he can put some hurting on you.
It's A's 4, Chicago 1. Thomas deep in the box, feet close together. And Bradford peers in to get his side. Out in center, Kotze a couple steps toward left center. Kelty left a step toward the line. Dies straight away and right. Thomas hits one deep into left field. Kelty going back at the track, at the wall, gone. And we have a 1-run game. Frank Thomas blisters one to left field into dead left. And it's A's 4, Chicago 3.
And a subsequent base hit by Carlos Lee put the possible go-ahead or possible tying run on base, but Konerko grounded into a force out, and that was the end of the line for Bradford after 2 shutout innings. It was going to be the 1-run lead going into the 9th inning. The A's did nothing in their half of the 9th. Loaiza had pitched 8 frames, and Marte pitched the 9th. Then Jim Messier came in to close it out and struck out Uribe at the top of the order. Got Harris on a ground ball to short, but lost Frank Thomas to a base on balls. And, that was in the 10th inning. I'm giving you just a little bit ahead. And Messier came in and he got 2 outs, but no base on balls. It was Jose Valentin. And Valentin got in a good count for a hitter, and that hurt. Swung. Long drive. Right field. Very deep. And gone. A game-tying home run by Jose Valentin. And Messier has suffered a similar fate to last Friday night in Kansas City. Valentin belts his 9th homer with no doubt about it to dead right field. And it's now a 4-4 game. Messier got behind 3-1, and Valentin got the pitch he wanted. It looked like a screwball that hung out over the middle of the plate. Olivo struck out to end the inning and sent us into a situation where the A's could win it in the bottom of the 9th, but wasn't happening in this instance as Marte was up to the task, getting the A's out 1-2-3. He went on into the 10th. Also 1-2-3 after Justin Dukeshire had come in to pitch the top half of the 10th and start his 3-inning shutout stint. He gave up a walk to Thomas, but Lee lined out to end the inning. We went until the 11th when the A's had a threat that looked like it might pay off with a victory when McLemore drew a base on balls. Chavez was hit by a pitch in the hand by Marte, who then was lifted from the game. Chavez, by the way, left the game after that inning and was examined in the clubhouse. It was determined he has a bruise of the left hand. Whether x-rays were taken or not, we don't know. And then Shingo Takatsu, the all-time Japanese save leader, came in to pitch to Jermaine Dye, and he did his specialty. He got the ground ball that turned into a 6-4-3 double play, He was out of there. It was a one-batter assignment. Neil Kotz, the left-hander, came in to face Hatterberg, who lined out to left field, and we went deeper into the ninth. Again, Duke sure up to the task. 12th inning, 1-2-3. A's came to bat in the bottom of the 12th. Kotz still on the mound, and DeRozzo opened the inning with a single to right field. Kelty then got behind in the count, but battled until it was 3-2. At that point, Ken Marcus sent Eric Burns sprinting across from the third base dugout to take over for DeRozzo as a pinch runner at first, but he wouldn't really have to turn off, or I should say turn on the afterburners, because the next pitch, Kelty made that unnecessary. Kotz is ready. 3-2 delivery. Swing and a high drive, deep left center field. Will that stay in the park? It is gone! Bobby Kelty wins it. A home run with Eric Burns aboard in the 12th inning. And the A's, in a game they seem to have won in 9, take it in 12. Kelty's home run sends everybody home tonight here at the Coliseum. His 5th of the year after he worked the count to 3-2. And the final score in 12. The Athletics 6 and the Chicago White Sox 4.